got head coach Jay Ladner. We'll have senior guard Eddie Polanco and senior forward James Gerritsen in here in a minute. Coach, you want to open up with a couple comments?
Yeah, I just first of all give Corpus Christi credit, and I'm again not surprised anybody that hears our pregame scouting report knew that I had great respect for Coach Wilson, and we knew exactly they didn't do anything that we weren't surprised. We knew we were going to see a great defensive game plan, pack line defense, and I didn't think early on, kind of like at which we got some issues we're going to solve there, but early on we stray from our offensive game plan. And by the time we kind of like at Nichols, where we get down 9-0 playing out of the game plan, and then by the time we kind of get it back going, and that we're already playing from a deficit. Against pack line defense, you've got to screen it down or cut into it and drive into it, pitch out, and get the basketball reversed and then attack. And we just didn't. Early on, we didn't do that. By the time we realized it was a little more serious than it was, like I said, we had to play from behind, and it's one of these nights that we've had. It reminded me some of McNeese. We just struggled to get something going. I mean, when you shoot 28 threes, you're not going to win many games. When you shoot 28 threes, you're not going to the foul line. But then again, the other thing, I thought it was equal opportunity, responsibility, and it starts with me. I obviously didn't do a good job of having us prepared for the game, and I'll assume responsibility for it. But and on the other side of it, our post players, couldn't finish around the rim, struggled real bad. Our perimeter people struggled. It was just one of those nights. We just, I don't think offensively anybody really did much. I think Eddie obviously hit a few, got us at 11. James had 10, and the rest of it seemed like a real struggle. And but like I said, just shooting 28 threes, I don't think is always good. But by the same token, it wasn't as if we were passing up guys inside, and they were doing something with it either. Like I said, it was just a poor offensive team effort. Corpus Christi had a lot to do with that. I tip my hat to them. We have to learn how to handle success better. You go get a great win, and then this has happened last year to us. We address it. But again, it's like when your mom tells you don't put your hand on the stove, you're going to get burnt. You're going to go do it. Well, we do it, and we just seem to kind of keep going back to the stove with it. I'm a little bit baffled there, but we're going to work to go figure it out. But it's a hurt. I'm hurting. I think our guys are hurting. But by the same token, taking nothing away from Corpus Christi, they did a great job. Coach Wilson's one of the great coaches, I think, in our league. But if we're going to be a contender, which is what our intent is, we're going to have to do better. We just got to do better. I mean, I don't know what else to say, and there's no other way to cut it. So anyway, great job by Corpus Christi, and we didn't do well enough. We just didn't play well enough to win.
Coach, on that note, we talked about before the game when we spoke, building a program and trying to get it to that point where you guys are, competing for championships and competing for conference tournaments and the NCAA tournament, what have you. These kind of losses, knowing what was at stake in the standings, can this be a building block? Can this be a lesson moving forward?
Well, certainly, Patrick, it's going to have to be. But it shouldn't. We've been to this step before already. And we were there last year at the same step, and Northwestern came in, Eddie will tell you, and beat us. The biggest crowd that we had up to date this year, you got opportunities, but we just seemed to kind of revert back. I was a little concerned. Obviously, a hard-fought game Saturday, a little bit concerned about a letdown. Addressed it in the pregame with our team, but addressed it upstairs. I was just a little concerned. People were still doing a lot of talking about Nichols. When we had a war, I knew what was coming out here today, and Eddie would tell you, we really tried to talk about it and address it to make sure we were mentally prepared. But obviously, I didn't do it. we've been to this. We fight, get ourselves in a position. We take a step back. We fight, get ourselves in a position, take a step back. The winning programs find a way to get it done. And we had some chances out there tonight. We just kept, it was back and forth battling. But we just never could seem to get that one little run or one bit of a punch to kind of get us over the hump. But we're going to go back to work again and try to put ourselves in a position again. But I can tell you this: if we don't get, we got to get cranked up, or we won't even make the tournament. So to heck with it. And that's why we just try to I know my mind. I don't know about if our players understand it. We just keep trying to say just one game at a time. Don't worry about where we are in the standings and all that kind of. Just do your best the next game. The next game is the most important game, and that's like tonight. We've got a heck of a team coming in here on Saturday. Very talented team, much more talented team than we played tonight, and a team that we've beaten up there. We've got to get it cranked up again. But certainly hurt, and hurt and disappointed.
Coach, the free throws, you guys went 6 of 12. Before you guys had to start fouling, they were only 4 of 4.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, I think you guys are shooting like in the mid 60s.
Awful,
free throw?
just awful.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. I can't address it. I mean, I know this, and we work on it. We talk to our guys. We try to put our guys in pressure situations in practice to do that. But you got to make free throws. And when you're struggling to score like we were tonight, really struggling to make shots, you got to make some free throws. And several times we went up there, missed front ends 1-and-1, missed both free throws. Those were critical. And because I think if we could have ever just gotten the lead, they were able to control the tempo of the game. If we could have just gotten that 5 or 6 point lead, we could have dictated the game. But we never could. And a lot of that had to do in the first half and then early the second half of missing critical free throws. And I don't know. If you got an answer, please let me know, because I don't. But 6 out of 12 for a 50%, shooting 60-some% on something that should be easy is embarrassing. That's just all there is to do it. But trust me, we work on it.
Seemed like every time you got a turnover, you just didn't lead to any points, and that seemed like a big killer tonight.
And there were, it was like we were just a little bit behind all night, Cole. And every time we would look like we almost had a steal, that was about to break away. Like one time we knocked the ball loose and Marlon went with it one-handed, and we ended up losing the handle on it, and they got it back recovered it right at the half court line. I don't know if y'all remember that play or not, where it looked like we were going to go bring it down the floor and lay it up. And I think just a play or two like that away, like I said, from getting the lead and getting into the lead, and maybe the outcome would have been a little bit different. But they made some huge plays. They made some huge plays and some huge shots when they needed to, and we just never could. I really could not put my hand on one of our players that I felt like that we could kind of we were running the gamut of guys trying to figure out who to set for shots or trying to go make plays. We just I couldn't figure it out tonight. So like I said, I take responsibility for it.
It seems like y'all kept avoiding the paint. Was that the game plan, or just A&M was just really good at keeping y'all out of the paint?
No, that wasn't the game plan. The game plan was opposite. The game plan was to throw the ball in the paint. They were running a pack line defense, which is everybody jammed up in the lane. They were basically saying, y'all are not going to beat us with Marlon penetrating. They're going to take that away. And what you don't want to do in that situation is make an early, just drive it in there. And we did. That's what I was talking about early in the game, just without any type of offense or pattern to what we were doing, just taking the ball and trying to run it. You're not going to get anything. They're all sitting there waiting on you. So what we want to do is throw the basketball in the post, constrict them even more, and then throw it back out if you couldn't score with it. We never did that early in the game, and like I said, we ended up costing ourselves a number of possessions because of it. So I have to take responsibility for offensive execution. I got to take responsibility for the team. I'm going to take responsibility for it. So if we've got to make changes with the starting lineup, we'll make changes. But that's 2 games in a row we've played outside of the game plan to begin the game. I'm not very happy about that.
Any questions for Eddie? Eddie, just, you were saying you just really couldn't get into any kind of rhythm tonight.
Well, it was disappointing, man. We had a big win at Nichols, and we just, we disappoint now. Not only our teammates or coach, we disappoint a lot of people, fans that came here to support us, and we disappointed sponsors that I saw a lot of people here that I never seen before. So it hurts, and we just got to move on and prepare for the next game. We gotta shake back.
Any further questions?
Eddie, Coach talked about how the team needs to learn how to handle success. How you think the team went into this game mentally?
Well, I think we gotta stay hungry and humble because, as I said, we had a big win at Nichols, and the past two practices we were like, a little laid back. We weren't as hungry as we were before in the Nichols game, But it's a lesson we gotta learn and move past that.
Any more questions? Thank y'all for coming.